What's up, everyone? Welcome to the third week of our series, and specifically the third week of your discussion time. A few weeks ago, my family and I went out to eat at a local hibachi place, one of those restaurants where the chef makes the food right there in front of you, and it's a kind of joint where you have dinner with total strangers, right? So the chef prepares the food there, and you're at a table of 10 or 12 people, and so our host slash waiter, who are one and the same, they're taking drink orders. And dinner orders and all the normal stuff that they would do. And we pretty quickly realized that this kid really has no idea what he's doing. But we've been to this place before, so we kind of know how it works, and that's all good. There's this nice family though that we're eating dinner with, and they don't really know what's going on. It's their first time there, so they're asking lots of questions to the server there, and none of which are being answered. Everything they ask is met with the I don't really know. He never offered to go find out or to bring someone over who could assist. It was just kind of awkward. But the family was kind to him, and they just kind of rolled with it. Once their orders were taken and the server had left, they asked us, "Do you guys come here often?" And Tara said, "Well, we've come a handful of times. So we don't come here that often, but we've been here before. We kind of know how it works." And the mom of their group said, "So you kind of know what's going on?" And Tara said, "Well, I mean, yeah, mostly." And I chimed in with, "Well, we certainly know more than that guy." I'm referencing our server at this time, right? And then Tara added, "Yeah, we use these as teaching moments with our kids. We have a 15-year-old who's about to enter the workforce, and we use this as teaching moments to talk about how you should handle these sorts of things and how you should just deal with this when you enter the workforce, right?" And that was basically the end of that, and we moved on to exchanging some further pleasantries about where the kids went to school. Church came up, our jobs. We had some shared acquaintances. Some of you guys we were able to say we knew together. It was an easy conversation with some super, super nice people. But as we sat there, and the server returned a time or two, it started to feel like maybe he knew the family we were eating with. And before long, my daughter, Lily, whispers something to her mom that stopped me in my tracks. She said, "Mom, I think the waiter's their son." Oh no. I had just told them I was a pastor at Grace Point. They were Christians, and they were so kind and so gracious, but we were so embarrassed. I turned to them after he walked away, of course, and I said, "So it seems like it might be a good time to say we're sorry." I said, "I am so ashamed of my behavior. I feel terrible. We are so sorry we spoke about your son so poorly." Now, we didn't say anything of his character or his work ethic or anything like that, but we basically told them he was bad at his job, right? So in that moment, it felt I felt like such a hypocrite. I'm a Jesus follower who totally just bashed their kid. Now, he never heard it, and I'm glad for that. I certainly don't desire to make him feel small. I felt small enough for the both of us, I'm sure. But hypocrisy, simply put, it's when there's a contrast in what we profess and how we behave. It shows up in all kinds of ways. We all have thoughts about it, whether that word makes you think of people who have been guilty of it in your life, or perhaps a group of people in history, or maybe you think about Jesus' response in Matthew when we see him get downright angry with the hypocrisy he sees going on around him. It is a buzzword for Christians and non-Christians alike. The Barna Group did a research study a number of years ago in which they asked non-Christian people why they rejected Christianity. And here's the top 3 responses they gave. Christians were viewed as, number 1, anti-homosexual, number 2, judgmental, and number 3, hypocritical. Over 85% of non-Christians respond with the problem of hypocrisy. And there's more. Check this out. The same study found that 40% of young adults in America, ages 16 to 29, have rejected the church altogether. 20% of them consider themselves atheists or agnostics. The rest of them consider themselves spiritual, just not interested in the church or Christianity. The young adults referenced in that same study, there's a larger part of them growing in America, and they're called religious nuns, not N-U-N-S, but N-O-N-E-S, meaning that when they fill out a survey and are asked the question, "What is your religion?" they mark none. And you know why? Hypocrisy. It's not because of Jesus or theology or even things like worship style. It's because they identify with this famous Gandhi quote. He said, I love your Jesus. I just don't see many Christians that look like him. So Christ follower, let's do our part here. Let's do our piece. Let's own our piece of this and repent for the difficulty we have caused and the doubt that we have contributed to. And skeptic, here's what I want to challenge you with. Your mind just might be blown if you take a closer look at the person of God, not simply through the people of Jesus, but through the person of Jesus. All right, discuss.